Welcome to Global Insiders Podcast. I am Ryan, the peripatetic one, bringing you information about opportunities relating to jobs, traveling, and any information that can elevate you to your rightful place in this thing called life. You can find more information and how-to methods on globalinsidersgroup.com. That is insiders with an S. And here is today's show.
Hello, insiders. Hope you're all doing well. Welcome to another Groundhog Day, as it seems as if life has gone into a whole alternate universe, but Global Insiders is still here with you. And today I want to talk to you about our current situation and a few tips really about how to continue trying to live your life in a way that will continue to make you sane. Hey, I'll start with some updates because you're all home and you're probably wondering what is going on in the world and how to get things moving. And I want to keep updated with news and so forth across the world. Yeah, so let's just get straight. Let's go to coronavirus. So currently there are 2,556,476 cases that they have reported, and of that number, 690,224 persons have recovered. And the sad part is the deaths, and 177,607 persons have died. So this thing is not a joke, as everyone is trying to say. And United States has 32% of the cases, even though their numbers started to rise months after the cases in Asia. But yes, they have 32% of the cases now, and Spain and Italy are second and third, respectively. Moving on to better news, it is now possible to record using Skype on your phone. So, yes, it sounds as if that should be something easy, where you just talk on your phone and you're able to record the conversation easily. But no, apparently it's not. But Skype has a record button, and I will link to this in the show notes. So I'll leave that website up for you. Because of the coronavirus, iconic events such as the Olympics, of course, the Olympics were supposed to be held in Japan this year, Olympics and Paralympics, but of course those are cancelled or postponed rather. And other things, other big events such as Oktoberfest, which is in Germany, and Running of the Bulls, which is in Spain, have also been cancelled. So, I mean, it's basically a cancelled 2020, so to speak. And but we are not cancelled, so stick around and you'll learn a few more things. Facebook has added a hug reaction to their platform, so now you can give hugs to your friends and so forth in these times. I guess they're thinking that things are so bad that we need to start giving some hugs. Those who are affiliates, there's bad news. Amazon is changing how the percentage that they give to affiliates. I have no idea what is going on with Bezos, but this guy seems very bent on being the richest and the only rich guy in the world, because he keeps cutting things from people who are helping his platform, really. And it's going to be interesting to see where this company goes, especially in this decade. It's going to be interesting. I personally, I think there will be a level of dominance, but then after a while, I don't know. I think maybe things will slow down because it just cannot go on like that. But in the meantime, I'm not boycotting them because I'm in the ecosystem. I'm not boycotting them at this moment, but who knows in the future if it gets to a level where it absolutely looks disgusting. Maybe I'll have to consider that for that. So this week, I had a discussion that went downhill with a prospective guest. I wanted the person on the show for maybe a year now, and we've been talking. So I won't go into full details, but basically the person was saying they wouldn't be able to come on the show because of all that is happening in the world. The pandemic and everything. And I said, okay, I understand all of that, and I'll wait a little. But I went back to them, and they were saying, yeah, it's really, they're in a funk, and they don't know where and how to get back out of it. So I was saying, well, sometimes the best thing to do is to get back on the horse and ride it. And they then went into giving another excuse, which is legitimate. It included something that, as I say, I won't get into it, but yes, it's a legitimate reason. But what I got from it was that people do need time to deal with problems, major problems, and you have to allow them to deal with it however they may. But even so, these things can hamper us. These things can really take over our lives. So when we're going through bad times, I'm not taking anyone's bad time lightly, because sometimes some things will shock us, and people commit suicide all the time. People, they get depressed. So those things, no way, I'm not taking it lightly. But what I do know is that things will consume your life, and if you allow it to do that, you're going to be stuck. So as much as the pain is great of whatever the loss was, you have to really reconsider and think about where you want to go, where you want to go with your future, because you don't want to be hampered, or you don't want to be stuck in one place. So changing our state when things are bad, we have to learn to do that. You have to learn to change your state when things really go bad. But at the same time, as I said, grieve. You have to grieve. Grieve first. I'm not saying that people, when you go through something, you're not to grieve. So grieve first, right? But also, I did some research, and I looked into grieving. And there are some steps, or there are patterns to grieving. And I think it's good if we could recognize these, so that we don't stay in one place, in one state throughout for a very long time. So Elisabeth Kübler-Ross has looked into this from a scientific perspective. This is grieving. She has looked at grief and grieving from a scientific perspective. And there are a few things we can identify. So she says you will grieve, but there are several stages. And at the time when she wrote her first piece, it was 5 stages. I will identify these, and I hope you go and dig deeper in each. So the first is denial and isolation. Denying either actively or inactively. If we stay in this state, we could actively end up creating a wall that we can't get over. We just say that the thing didn't happen. We just can't come to grips that it happened, right? And you don't want to do that. You don't want to be in a state being for example, let's say at the pandemic right now, you can't be say coronavirus is not here, and believe in that, because then you won't be taking the necessary steps to do the right thing, to stay safe and to heal from it. Secondly, there is anger. As denial slips away, anger will emerge. This, of course, can result in resentment, and this can be projected in many different ways to many different persons. And anger is something that can really just creep up on you, especially if you've been holding in something for too long. So that is where the resentment, once again, isn't a good thing. Then number 3, it's bargaining. This stage comes with guilt, and we believe that if we had done something differently, then the outcome would have been different. So let's say a death or something like that. Maybe you're saying if you were there with the person, maybe the person wouldn't have died and so forth. But at the same time, we don't know. And more likely that wouldn't have happened either, you know. So it's really difficult. So don't try to blame yourself for the bad things that happen to either yourself or to others. I mean, it's hard not to. But it does. I mean, I got robbed before. I got, held up by several robbers. And sometimes I look back on it and I'm like, oh, if I'd only done this or if I'd only done that. And yes, if I'd gone a different direction, maybe it wouldn't have happened. But at that time, that's where I was. So you can't necessarily blame yourself. There's a reason why I was at that place. Depression. This can come in, so this is stage 4, depression. This can come in because of the practical implications of the loss. For example, the funeral cost or health bill, those type of things. You want to get the reassurance that you can go through this. So the depression is it's the one thing that we know will definitely come with bad experiences, because it's not something that puts you in a state that you want to smile or you want to be all happy and jovial and so forth. So the sadness will come, and then if it prolongs, you'll definitely have that state of depression. For this, I realized something this week from listening to a couple of people. In times like these, when things have changed so drastically, it is important for us to develop routines, new routines, because what is happening to billions of people around the world right now? They are waiting, or we are waiting, for a level of normalcy to come back so we can get back to our routine that was there before. But we have to realize that something major has happened. So because this big thing has happened, it has knocked us off our routine. So we need to be proactive and take control of the situation. And guess what? Start a new routine. So if you can do that, you'll be on your way to getting out of that depressed state. Acceptance. And this is stage 5, the final stage. Not everyone will get to this, according to the psychologists. This phase is marked by withdrawal and calm. Whatever stage you are at, just remember that it doesn't get easier, but if you have a goal that you want to accomplish, you will have to decide when you want to get back at it. So this thing happened, and it has taken you through several stages. First you want to deny it, and you want to get away from it. But then, even when you do that, you still get angry because it's something bad and you wish it didn't happen. And then you start thinking how you could have done things differently. And then eventually you give in to the sadness of it and you become depressed. But then you have to remember, as long as you're alive, things will change. And although things can get worse sometimes, things will change. But the main change you want is not the change that comes from outside. You want the change that comes from within. And that's a change where you go through the grieving process and then you say, hey, listen, this is who I'm going to be. I'm going to be someone else. I'm going to be something else. And as I said, the key thing to do in this is forget about the old routine. And I think that is what is giving many persons the most difficulty right now, because we are hoping and we are wishing for the past to come back. I mean, this is one of the most incredible times. I mean, the world has never seen anything like this, where all of us are basically hampered by the same problem. But one thing I do know, there will be winners that come from this. There will be persons who will come out of this looking way better and how they entered. And I want to be one of those persons. I'm working on being one of those persons. And I hope all of you will be in a similar situation where this thing, it gave you the greatest opportunity ever. And I know it sounds strange, and I know it might sound all hunky-dory, but the truth is we're alive. And once you're alive, there's an opportunity to do more and to be better. So I really do hope you stay safe, because that is number one. It doesn't matter whatever goal you have. If you're not alive to put it into play, it doesn't matter. It doesn't come into existence because you're not alive. Well, it doesn't come into your existence. And it doesn't make sense you do all the hard work and then you pass all that hard work to someone else just because you didn't try to stay alive. So stay safe, and I look forward to speaking with you next week again. And more likely it will be a solo show.
Thanks for listening today. I hope you are inspired. You can find more helpful and motivational material at globalinsidersgroup.com. That is, insiders with an S. You can also keep in touch at Global Insiders on Instagram. See you next time, but remember, you can be your own superhero. Bye.